So we will get into our next game, and our next game is the London game. I think it's London. I'm not sure. It could be Germany. International game, Sunday morning. We go from a Sunday morning one that gets us off and running at a blistering pace. What was it? Chiefs, Dolphins,
Yeah.
Patriots, and Colts. And unless Brady and Manning come out of retirement, it will not be great. Starting at quarterback here, we've got Minshew Mania against Mac Jones. Yep, that's really the matchup here. I didn't make that up. Good God. Minshew, middle of the pack matchup, 17th. Mac Jones, 15th. So doesn't really impact it either way. If I check my rankings, I would be willing to bet that both these guys are in the same range as the last two. Minshew may be higher. Yeah, Minshew's higher. Minshew's at 17. Mac Jones is at 20. So these guys I have 2 or 3 spots ahead of the last two, but these are super flex options only. I'm not starting Minshew or Mac Jones. Minshew, I guess, if you're really in a desperate spot in a 1 QB, but what do you think?
Yeah, if you want to really just ride a wave of uncertainty, go ahead and start Minshew. And if you look at his weekly scoring points, he's been all over that. It's like 9, 27, 14, and 9. So, like, you look at how he produces fantasy points, and sometimes it's great, it works out, and sometimes it just falls apart. And that's kind of what Minshew's been his entire career. And then on top of it, they're running in an absurd pace, and they're running some of the most plays in the NFL. So he supports these options, and it gets them well, but it's just like the talent of Minshew just fully isn't there. So, like, it's just a roller coaster with him. But with that said, he's definitely going to be above Mac Jones for me just because Mac Jones does not give you the same upside that Gardner Minshew does.
So no, absolutely. Like I said, I have him Minshew 2 or 3 spots at minimum, maybe 5 spots ahead. The rushing upside, yeah, they both have similar floors. Oh, even the last two, who was it, Young and Bajan? All 3 of them have a 3 to 5 point floor. Minshew has by far the biggest floor of any of the 4, and it's not even close. So that's why Minshew, shitty floors, high ceiling for Minshew. Like you said, he could put up 35, he could put up 3.5. So
it's fascinating.
Yeah, this might be one where if you have to start him, maybe sleep in and don't get up and watch this one because
you'll pull your hair out. You'll pull your hair out for
sure. Ugly. So we'll move on to the running backs here. 12th best matchup for Jonathan Taylor. He's a must start. I have him at 8 in my rankings. God damn it! 1 sec.
Okay. But yeah, like as he's saying,
Jonathan Taylor. My kid's phone is in here, and of course, I knew to mute my phone, but my kid's phone is over on his desk, and I'm going, "What the hell's that ringing?" So Taylor is a must start for me. Ramondre Stevenson, I have him as a start this week, but because he is the 5th best matchup. It is a risky one. It is a scary one, but I'd be willing to bet he's a top 20 for me. He's 14th. So
high. I have like 8. I was like, holy shit.
Well, this is another one where if you want to look at the way he's been producing, there's no way you should have him inside 20. If you want to look at the matchup and the potential and what he should do, he's top 15 or top 12 here because this is a spot where if Ramondre doesn't have a big game like he did last week, he's an RB2 at best from now on. Like, this is his only chance. I think I wrote this in my sit start article. This is his chance to get himself back into the RB1 conversation. He needs to do it here.
He basically put up 130 yards last week, so that was just nice to see. And he had a touchdown on top of it, so that's why it's such a good game. But, like, his targets have been there. It's been a lot of 6 targets. There's a 4-target game in there as well. But, like, that's why I have him highly ranked so high is just because I'm kind of trusting in the process and going with him and what we're seeing because the offense has been better than it had been. So, yeah, he's going to be below Taylor, but I'm starting both of these guys everywhere I have them.
At the receiver position, 5th best matchup for Pittman. He's a must start. I'm sure if I check my rankings, he's very high. He's 14, so he's a must start for me. I don't really – Josh Downs scares me with the injury. I don't want to start Alec Pierce. If you have Josh Downs, I don't mind flexing him or as a 3, but I'd like to see a little bit more out of him, and I'd like to see him healthy. Demario Douglas and the Patriots, 15th best matchup, so it's indifferent. Doesn't really help or hurt. He's another one where I don't really want to start any Patriot. I'd like to stash Douglas, but if I can only play one receiver here, it's Pittman. I prefer to leave Downs and Douglas on my bench. I think I'd rather still start Downs over Douglas, even though he's got the injury concern. I just need to see more out of Douglas, I think. But the potential's there. He's a good stash for me. But Pittman, for me, is a top 15, and nobody else is close.
Yeah, I'm fine with not downside. Demario Douglas, aka Pop Douglas. If you need like a flex play wide
Yeah,
receiver
because
and you really
you've
have
been
nobody else,
brainwashed in your Patriots group for the last 6
I
months.
do. They've been
Other
like
Poppins.
he's the wide receiver on that offense. He's by far the best player. Tom, the guy who runs league winners for us, he posted a little video thread on him. You can watch him on there on Twitter and check it out for yourself. But yeah, like he's by far their best wide receiver. It's like honestly not even close. So like I'm fine flexing him if I need to. But yeah, like ideally you have better options than him. And yeah, Pittman's a must start. Like you just play Pittman every week with Gardner Minshew.
The tight ends, 5th best matchup for the Patriots. Don't care. 24th best matchup for the Colts. Don't care. Not playing either of them. Henry is an absolute desperation bye-week replacement. Other than that, no thank you. 6th best matchup for Matt Gay, who I believe is one of the kickers I have in my streaming article. He has been good. I don't have his rank on me, but it's surprisingly high. I think he's top 5 or 6. He is a must start. Chad Ryland on the Patriots. It is the best matchup. Ryland has not been great. The Patriots do not score. He should be on your waiver wire. If you have to play him, you can so out of desperation, but I see very little reason why he would even be on your roster. These two defenses are interesting. The Colts are the 5th best matchup. They are probably a top 8 for me. Let me check. The Colts
Ooh,
are.
yeah, they're high for me.
Oh, they're significantly lower for me. They're only at 14 for me. I wonder why. I'm going to have to look. Maybe they're not getting turnovers. I'd have to see why my projections don't like them as much. And the Patriots, the 19th best matchup. They are probably in the same range. Yeah, they are back to back with the Colts. So I have both of them as not starters this week. I don't really want to trust the Patriots because Gardner Minshew does have those odd blow up games. I'd much rather start the Colts. I'm fine, in the end, I'm fine starting either one of these two as probably a top 12 defense. And I think I will be adjusting my rankings to reflect that. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go with the Indy defense. I feel like it's a lot safer. But if you really want to you want to go all in with upside and do that, you want to bank on a bad Gardner Minshew game, then you could go with the Patriots. And if he doesn't turn it over like he's done in the past sometimes, like that's how they get their blow up spot with that way.
You know what it is? There's a lot of it's a mess. The rankings I'm looking. There's a lot of high end defenses that would normally be top options that are ranked lower because of bad matchups, and there's a lot of teams like Chicago and Carolina that I have ranked a lot higher because of matchups. So we got, instead of having 4 or 5 elite options, we seem to have a clusterfuck of about 15 teams that are all kind of like, I want to maybe. Like,
yeah, like that. I was surprised to see San Francisco so low, but they're playing Jacksonville, so it makes sense. Like
I
stuff
have
like that, right? It kind of
I
stirs
have
up your
San
own.
Francisco at 18.
Yeah, they're low. I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, they're playing Jacksonville."
That's what
And
I
I mean,
mean.
Jacksonville just doesn't really turn it over and stuff. So like, I get it. It's just
So,
I don't
but
know, man.
look
I
at
have a hard time putting these guys above them.
these are teams here that were drafted as top 12 defenses that are outside the 12 for me this week. Patriots, Bills, Saints, and 49ers, all outside the top 12 this week. And even Broncos, they're way out, but like it's a really weird week for defenses where you're, like I said earlier, you're starting a lot of the crappy ones you don't want to start.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
Kind
good
of
starting.
ugly.
We have a comment here.
Was that?
Oh, we have a comment. Hold up. Entire roster. Okay.
Jesus.
Tyler, that is risky. Or middays. Any changes?
Oh, he has Trevor Lawrence as his backup. My suggestion is Trevor Lawrence needs to be your starter, not Kyler.
Yeah, like he's probably not going to run the first couple weeks. So,
They
like,
said he is, but I don't trust it. I don't
yeah,
trust
it takes over a year for that running to come back. Like that's the issue. So like people, I have Kyler benched on all my life. I'm not starting Kyler unless I'm desperate.
He also has Deshaun Watson. That's a lot of quarterbacks. Is this a super
like
flex?
you could play Watson for sure.
That's a lot of quarterbacks. Trade one of these quarterbacks. Trade Deshaun Watson to someone who needs a quarterback.
Yeah, because if you have two Watson, like you should definitely don't need 3 quarterbacks. Like,
trade Watson or Kyler to someone for a running back. Someone's got to trade you. There's got to be a running back you can acquire better than Foreman. I don't know. Okay, is that Rashad White?
Yeah.
And
who's Wilson?
Garrett Wilson?
No. Yeah, I guess it's got to be Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, I have ahead
of. Like make Rashad White your second running back. Like that sounds way better. And then
he said he's been trying to trade a QB. Some leagues are like that. Like I have teams where I guess it's smart though. Like I have a 1 QB league where I'm decimated at QB and I have no one. And some guy's been trying to trade me. Well, he's aiming too high. He's been trying to trade me Burrow all season. He offered me Burrow for Lamb. He offered me Burrow for Barkley, Burrow for Kelsey. I'm going. He's like, oh well, you need a quarterback. I'm like, it's a 1 QB league. I'd rather stream it than trade an elite player from a QB. So.
Well, yeah, and you're getting James Conner back too. So like realistically, like when Conner comes back and he's healthy, I'm going to play him over Foreman. Like that's just
where do you see
ridiculous.
Conner?
And then
it's where do you see
down
that?
at the bottom and he changes. And like
I
also,
didn't even
so
see
you could play Rashad White, you could flex Conner, like you could do that. And like I just don't trust Foreman. Like that's the hard part with Foreman. It's just so risky with him to me.
Package,
Yeah, like
Debo and a quarterback, or Christian Watson and a quarter. I don't know. I like to upgrade here. I guess you're gonna have Connor at the RB2, so that's not terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Like you could package, you could make that work for sure. Like
yeah,
you
that
find
tough depending on how
teams that have weaknesses in the spots you're like strengths, right? So whoever needs that running back, you package that together. Whoever needs a quarterback, package that together. Like do that. Yeah, and Herbert's not playing, so yeah.
Would you trade Nico for Baker? I would have. You know what's funny? Someone, Dennis, was posting about this earlier on the value of super quarterbacks and superflex. And my point that I was about to make was I did the research, and even when I do my trade value charts, even in superflex, unless they're a top 15 or 16 quarterback, they're not worth the value to. And then I looked, and Baker's like QB 14. So I normally would have said no, but he's actually performing at a decent level. If you can afford to trade away Nico, who's kind of been inconsistent in that offense, and Baker is available, I don't hate this. It's probably not the quarterback I would target, but you're probably not going to get much better for Nico. So
no, I would like prefer to go after someone like Dobbs for cheaper than that, like because he gives you high floor too, like stuff like that. But like it's just all about the
know though. But with all the hype around Dobbs, I think it's easier to trade for Baker than Dobbs, and I think Baker's better than Dobbs. But yeah, White is my RB2, but Foreman plays tonight. Oh, that's true.
I'm not playing Foreman tonight. Like I'm starting White. Like I trust him so much more.
Because Herbert's out, but I don't want to play that roulette between Foreman and what's his name, Roshan. I don't know. That one scares me a bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bench Foreman honestly. Like and then play either.
Well, Connor, you have on an IR spot or on your bench. Connor's gonna play. Activate Connor. I think.
Yeah, play Connor. Like I would play Connor. I'd even almost contemplate doing the Pop Douglas thing on like this weekend over him. Like that's where I would have those guys. Even though my rankings have like him lower, I trust Pop Douglas more than I do for him. It's just risky with like him and Roshan. This is the last week without Khalil, right? So that's gonna change more.
Foreman got 20 carries last week and has a great matchup tonight. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't know. I think I'd rather roll the dice with Connor.
Yeah, but he got you 8 points last week. That's the problem.
Well, he's touchdown. His one good game is he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he needs a touchdown. Like if he doesn't get the touchdown, it's not going to happen for him. It's like he doesn't give you any receiving. Like that's the thing. Just no receiving. So like that's the thing that's actually. So if you think he's getting a touchdown, you can play him. But if you don't think he's getting a touchdown, bench him. Like that's how I would go about that because you have good options on your bench to play.
All right, move.